All right, chat. Why Game of the Year Award 2025 will change gaming forever? We were just talking about the Game of the Year Awards and the Game Awards. Yeah, dude, let's get into this. YouTube Frogs watching after the fact. Yo, what's good? My name's Chris. We're about good vibes here. I hope you guys enjoy your stay. If you do, feel free to drop a like and a sub. Also, fair warning, I talk too much. I don't talk enough sometimes, or I be talking to chat too much. I pause a lot. You've been warned, dude. You have been warned. First link will be the original video. Second link will be my Twitch stream. Feel free to come by sometime. We'd love to have you. All right, chat, are we ready to go? Should I buy Detroit Become Human or God of War 2018? If you absolutely love choice-based story games, Detroit Become Human. If you like combat of any kind, I would say go God of War, and it also has an incredible story. Detroit Become Human, though, is probably like top 8 games all time for me. God of War, haven't finished it. God of War 2018, haven't finished it. Probably not quite as high for me personally, but that's my own taste, and I have a weird taste in games, so.
Game of the Year nominations usually
Please don't
represent
Sabua.
the 6
you,
strongest titles released that year, the absolute best of the best the industry has to offer. They also give a general consensus of where gaming stands. Look back at 2018's Game of the Year lineup: Monster Hunter World, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Spider-Man, and Celeste. Now, aside from Celeste...
Oh, dude, I didn't know Celeste was up for grabs. That's awesome. It's awesome. I didn't realize it was nominated that year. I haven't really been, haven't started paying attention to the Game Awards before, 2021, I think. I think that was the first year that I kind of paid attention. Cyberpunk had such a great story, but I did not like any of the endings. I think they made it that way because there's no happy endings in Night City. Exactly, dude. Yes. Yes. I agree. And that is why that game made me feel so sad and hollow after completing it, bro. Albert, what's up, bro? Detroit Become Human, so Ami. Rage bait used to work, man. It used to work, dude.
Every nominee
I used to
came
believe
from
it.
a massive
Used to be
AAA
believable.
studio. Rockstar, Ubisoft...
Oh, that's why I originally paused. What? Odyssey was on here? Are we being fucking dead ass right now? In 2018, we had Odyssey on here. That was the second one in the Assassin's Creed, revamp, right? That wasn't the first. They were both O games. I played the first one in, the RPG revamp of Assassin's Creed, and I liked it. Don't think it was Game of the Year. Odyssey, though, isn't Odyssey sitting at a 4 out of 10 on fucking Metacritic? What? Hold on. And you shouldn't let Metacritic decide everything for you, by the way, chat. Okay, let me make that very clear. Oh my god! Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 26? Oh my god, bro. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. Oh, it's sitting at an 80. What the hell? Oh, user score. Okay, word. Yeah, to be fair, 7 out of 10 on the user score. Let IGN decide what games you play. Dude, the amount of, Okay, sorry, I was going to go on a tangent. Let me just tell you what you need to know about fucking IGN reviews. They gave Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, a 5 out of 10 or some shit. What the fuck? Last good AC was Black Flag. I would say last great Assassin's Creed was Black Flag. I think Unity was pretty good after they fixed the bugs. And I think the one that I'm blanking of, the one that I'm blanking on right now. Oh, Brotherhood was the best? Dude, where did Julian go? Julian, you're right here, dude. You guys are about to become best friends. What was the first Assassin's Creed when they made it the RPG engine? I really liked it. Then again, I played it when I was 16, so maybe don't take my word for it, dude. The bullshit latter half of Assassin's Creed series where it's just a decent RPG game slapped with the AC logo. I miss the older AC games. I agree, bro. I agree. If I let IGN choose what games I played, it would all be Madden and COD. You would be a ball and gun gamer. Origins. That's what it was. It goes Black Flag, 2 Brotherhood. Wait, Black Flag, 2 Brotherhood 3. Oh, okay, word. Okay, I was like, wait, hold on. Hold on, I'm having a stroke right now. Yeah, I think I would agree. I think I would have to really think about it. Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 3. There we go. Sorry, I was tripping there. I was like, wait. I thought you were trying to like rank them there. Unity's failure is the reason we have the RPG BS. If that game didn't fail, we'd have better AC games. Yes, and it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad that game was such a fucking buggy mess, dude.
Sony, teams with enormous budgets, resources, and industry power.
Yeah.
For years, this was the norm. Players often criticized AAA games for being overpriced or shallow, but the reality was simple. They dominated the industry. Indie studios existed, sure, but they couldn't compete with the tech, funding, marketing power, or established IPs that AAA developers had. Bigger studios had better tools, better visibility, and ultimately far higher production value. Fast forward 7 years to today's nominations: Expedition 33, Hades 2, Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Death Stranding 2. And here's the twist: aside from the final two, every single one of those games was made by an indie team. In just a few years.
Kingdom Come 2 was an indie team? I don't think I realized that. Like an indie team or a AA team? Kingdom Come deserves it most. Dude, the rage bait used to be believable, man. The rage bait used to be believable. Donkey Kong should not be on that list. I've heard it's incredible. I heard it's absolutely incredible is the thing. I can't play it. I don't have a fucking Switch 2. So I have no thoughts. Lost Records is still on Game Pass. Get like just 1 month of that shit and grind out the games. I personally liked Revelations. Yeah, dude, I liked Revelations too. Brotherhood, Black Flag, Revelations 2, 3, Syndicate, Unity, then everything else. Oh, you like Syndicate? I liked Syndicate, but I never completed it. Only 2 good games on the list are Expedition and Kingdom Come Deliverance. On me. Rage Bait used to be believable, dude. It used to be believable. Also, killing Desmond kind of took away the only good thing. Yes, dude. Yes. Why the fuck did they kill off Desmond? I know. I've asked this before in stream, and people gave me the explanation in the lore of why they had to kill off Desmond. But why the fuck did they kill off Desmond? I only played 3, Black Flag and Odyssey. Oh, you've never played 2? Oh, Autumn. You should play 2 if you get the chance. They're incredible. The worst ones are Odyssey and Valhalla. See, I've heard a lot of people say they like Valhalla. Sorry, this is becoming an Assassin's Creed combo. So sorry. All right, let's continue.
The landscape has flipped completely. AAA studios went from dominating the shortlist to becoming the minority. But how did this happen? On paper, it shouldn't be possible. The studios with the biggest budgets, tech, and manpower should always come out.
Sorry to pause again almost immediately, but Ami, that is actually so well said, bro. Valhalla is the best of the shitty ones. That is perfectly said. That is literally perfectly said. Now, I think some people would probably argue, what was the one that I played for a while on stream, but then like stopped playing because I got sidetracked with other games and it was stupid and it was through Epic Games. Felt that boxing. Ooh. Okay, Cam, I'm gonna have to tap. If I can remember after this video, I'll check it out. You can play as buff Sparta woman, so I'm slightly biased. Oh, that's valid. No, that is so valid. What was the one that came out that was in the Middle East, right? Or somewhere around there? It was like, I don't think it was full price. It was only like 30 hours. They weren't trying to stuff it full of shit. Which, Mirage. I think some people would argue Mirage is the best shitty one, but I played Mirage. It kind of had a pretty good hook on me, honestly. I think I should go through and play it at some point again. But I haven't played Valhalla, so I don't have any input. But I think some people would probably argue Mirage, and I think some people would argue Mirage actually, isn't actually a shitty one. I think people would say that's probably the best Assassin's Creed in years for people who really like the old ones, because it does have a mix of the older vibes. So for me personally, I would probably put Mirage in the like non-shitty ones. And from what I've seen of Valhalla, which I own on a Ubisoft account, by the way, so maybe I'll have to play that and give my actual thoughts. Trash for me, stop playing it because the story wasn't hitting for me. That's valid. I think it was just because I hadn't played Assassin's Creed in a while, for why it hooked me there for a little bit. But from what I've heard, I would say Valhalla's like in the shitty category, but like the best out of the shitty ones. And if you're just looking for an open world game to play, it's probably fun. Ubisoft just shits out corporate slob games now. Yeah, literally, bro. Literally. Like the Avatar game, it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, you just took all of the fucking elements of your other open world games and made it Avatar. Cool. This is sick. The made a corporation model for boring open world games. Exactly.
on top, yet they're no longer winning.
Fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey just being mentioned in this video got us all being like, yeah, fuck Ubisoft. Fuck Ubisoft. Their shit used to be so much better. The only thing I dislike about Odyssey is the lack of a hidden blade, which slightly bugs me. Other than that, I enjoyed running around ancient Greek cities. Yeah, I think the thing about like Odyssey and Origins is since they were new, it was like cool. And like you were getting to see like a different part of the Assassin's Creed world. Well, technically like our world recreated in video game form. But after a little while, I was like, okay, this is... I mean, not that they've made a ton like that, but... Hey, sorry, I haven't been active, but I've been here, and I'm going through something currently. I don't know when it's going to get better, and IDK when I will be back in stream, so I'm going to log off now. I just want to say bye. Love you, Chris. Yo, J-Way, much love, bro. Hit me up if you need anything, okay, dude? I hope everything goes good, dude. Bayek got a trilogy. That was the dude in Origins, right? Or is that the dude in Mirage? Sorry, I'm a little stupid.
Why? In this video, I'll break down exactly how this shift happened, why it's happening, and why it's only going to become even more common in the future. So without further ado, let's get into it. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. So first, let's talk about the fall of the AAA giants. If you look back at 2012, the industry was completely dominated by major studios. Some of the biggest names were studios like Bethesda, BioWare, Ubisoft, and Rockstar. Take Bethesda for example. Their early titles like The Elder Scrolls Arena, Daggerfall, and Morrowind were pure RPG experiences, full of depth and player freedom. They catered directly to fans of role-playing games.
Let's go, hell yeah,
and
Cam.
that's what
that
helped
game's
them
really
build
fun.
Their reputation in the first place. These early games were deep, complex, and catered perfectly to a hardcore RPG fan. But after that, Bethesda shifted focus, simplifying mechanics to make their games more accessible to a broader audience. RPG depth was trimmed in favor of ease of use, aiming to attract more casual players. And it worked. Oblivion, their next...
Dude, I didn't even think about that. That makes total sense. That makes so much sense. Starfield, people still know that game? Dude, I'm going to be honest. I've got to give Starfield another try. I've got to give Starfield another try sometime. And go into it thinking, like, this game's going to suck. And I think if I go into it thinking this game is going to fucking blow, I think I'll actually somewhat have a good time. Also, Ami, thank you so much again for the sub, by the way, brother. I appreciate you. Yo, what's up, Nate? My crush is trying to guess who I like. Little does she know, it's her. That game never ends well, my boy. They eventually get to them. Good luck. Good luck, Nate. I believe in you. Get me a properly good Avatar: The Last Airbender open world game Ubisoft and my life is yours. That's fair. Chris, check the chat before me mentioning Starfield. Starfield puke emoji? I haven't, Cam. The Starfield puke emoji? Oh, you mean your chat. My bad. Yeah, I got you, twin.
Next game sold 4 times more than Morrowind. The pattern was clear. Simplify the design, reach a wider audience, and watch profits rise. Fallout 3 streamlined mechanics even more and sold better, followed by Skyrim and then by Fallout 4, which cut so many RPG elements out, it felt more like a looter shooter than a role-playing game. New features like settlement building, legendary gear, poor dialogue, and radiant quests replaced deep role-playing. At the same time, microtransactions exploded, from 0 in games like Morrowind to countless additions in Fallout 4. Profit had become the priority, leaving Bethesda's original RPG fans behind in exchange for a more casual, broader audience. Then came an even more lucrative audience, online players. Elder Scrolls Online abandoned single-player routes for an MMO model, earning $15 million a month.
To be honest with you, I don't... Let me think about this. I've played the Elder Scrolls Online a couple of times. I don't think the Elder Scrolls Online was a bad game. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good for what it is, right? I think Fallout 76 was a bad call. I think Bethesda, if they wanted a Fallout Online game, they should have handed it off to a different company, like they did with the Elder Scrolls Online, right? The thing is, though, is I watched a video a long time ago talking about why they made Fallout 76, and allegedly it was because Todd Howard, this was just a theory, but I think it makes the most sense. Todd Howard wanted to make Starfield, right? Because he said for forever that was his dream game that he wanted to create, right? But they needed more staff and more funding. So if they made an online multiplayer game that would make a fuck ton of money, but they needed more people to, you know, be able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Keep up to date, I guess, is for, you know, lack of words. Keep up to date and, you know, create new content for it and all of that. Then they would need a bigger team, aka he could get more people to work or be able to hire more people from, you know, big Bethesda, not, you know, Bethesda Game Studios, Bethesda the publisher. He could get them to give him more money to hire more people. I think that's the thing that makes the most sense, because I really don't think they were like, yeah, this shit's awesome. Yeah, Fallout 76 awesome. Actually, then again, if Starfield is his dream game, then maybe he did think Fallout 76 was fucking awesome. Which, again, I fucking hate the fact that Fallout 76 was so fucking bad on launch, because it's in West Virginia, and it's the only fucking time that a game in fucking West Virginia, other than like Silent Hill, happened, but it's like actually based on West Virginia and places in West Virginia. I can go visit places that have been before West Virginia there, but like it was so ass. But I'm glad they fucking fixed it up some. Best Bethesda game is New Vegas, and it isn't really a Bethesda game, it's Obsidian. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. I would say, if we're talking about RPG, Fallout New Vegas is the best. But I think, like, for me personally, from playtime, obviously it's Skyrim. But both of them are absolutely incredible. And I think a lot of people could argue the best, like, Bethesda game is New Vegas, and it wasn't even made by Bethesda themselves. It was made by fucking Obsidian. You know, so it was made for MMO players. 76 was made for idiots. Just released Fallout 5. Yeah, dude. I know Todd wanted to make Starfield, and if that's really, like, why they made Fallout 76, it makes sense. But they should have just made The Elder Scrolls fucking 6, dude. Now, here's the thing. Fallout 6 has to be so... Did I say Fallout 6? The Elder Scrolls 6 has to be so fucking incredible to live up to expectations, you know? Sorry, we're getting sidetracked again, dude. This is supposed to be about the Game of the Year discussion. My bad, bro. So he released the second worst game of all time to fund the worst game of all time. Yeah, pretty much. Dream Gaming a bombed worse than 76, SMH. Yeah. Fallout New Vegas is the best game of all time. Is that your fave all time, Mommy? I wish I knew more friends who play online, honestly. That's why I got rid of my Xbox Live. I never play it. I've heard nothing but good things from anyone who's played Skyrim, yet to meet someone who doesn't. Yeah, honestly, same. But this is making the Marvel Blade game. That's not, but that's like big Bethesda. That's one of their, who is it? Is it id? No, is it id Software? One of their other companies, not Bethesda Games. Bethesda Games is working on Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. They're in pre-production for Fallout 5 right now. Insomniac. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Insomniac. So yeah, but whenever I say Bethesda right now, I'm mostly talking... Wait, is it Insomniac? Is that Bethesda? Am I tripping? Anyways, I don't really know much about Marvel Blade other than the fact that it's not Bethesda Games making it. When I say Bethesda, I'm talking about the game studio, unless I say big Bethesda. It's Sony owned, so it's... Wait. Oh, it's Insomniac. Okay, word.
The casual mainstream single-player crowd was now replaced with online players, a far more profitable crowd thanks to microtransactions, memberships, and in-game cosmetics. The formula worked, so next came Fallout 76. Despite fan protests for single-player focus, Bethesda doubled down on memberships, microtransactions, and additional costs, sidelining traditional RPG projects. The pattern was clear. Chase the money, trade passion for profit, and lose core fans along the way. Bethesda didn't care about satisfying their core fanbase, just those that were the most profitable. And now we see that Fallout 76 and the Elder Scrolls Online take priority and get constant updates, whereas Fallout hasn't seen a single player entry for over 10 years, and the Elder Scrolls hasn't seen one in nearly 15. And now Bethesda is seen as a villain.
People will buy anything.
Lacking identity, a core fan base, or player loyalty.
Dude, that Fallout shirt's hard as fuck. It's kind of funny. It's not even the game that they made. They didn't even make that game. That was originally what's-her-name's, dude. At this point, Bethesda better release ES6 with no glitches, no trash-ass dialogue, and no stupid-ass physics, or else Bethesda is absolutely cooked and going under. Here's what I realized, chat. Here's what I realized about the Elder Scrolls 6. It is going to have to be as groundbreaking and revolutionary for modern games as Morrowind was when it came out. Do we think that Bethesda still has that in them? I don't think they do, because I don't think that you make a game like that unless you have a small core team that knows the vision and is able to achieve something like that. I think that's another problem with these big game studios. Other than like Rockstar, right? And even still, you know, with the whole Red Dead Online and never releasing single player DLCs and all of that, it's not really them either. A lot of the problem is when you get such big bloat, you can't create incredible games anymore because there's so many chefs in the fucking kitchen, dude. You just can't create any mind fucking boggling games. I mean, who is doing that right now? What's the fucking dev team that made Elden Ring? I'm blanking on their name right now. Maybe them? Maybe that. Who else? Who else is doing that? With a huge team, hundreds of employees. FromSoft, thank you. FromSoft. Larian is technically an indie dev. Sandfall is technically indie devs or AA, you know? We're just talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance is technically AA or indie, right? All of these incredible games right now are not made by AAA studios, dude. Which I think we're coming around to right now. Actually, in this video is what I realized. But yeah, unless Bethesda can make the Elder Scrolls 6 be as mind-blowing and as game-changing as Morrowind was, I don't think anyone will, like, there won't be as cold following for it or as well of a reception. I think it's going to be a bad reception. And after Starfield and Fallout 76, I just don't think they have that in the fucking tank anymore, dude. I'm hopeful. I'm crossing my fingers. There's a lifelong, pretty much, Elder Scrolls fan. Please, Lord Todd Howard. But I don't think it happens. Spider-Man and Miles Morales were great, and Spider-Man 2 had less story than either. Oh, Insomniac had the same thing. That's what I want with Spider-Man 2. Sony doesn't give them the rights to use it, like Spider-Man and Wolverine. Oh, Insomniac? Yeah. Epic has the same thing. Daddy Todd, please. Considering most of, if not all the devs that worked on that didn't work there or don't work there anymore, it's not fucking happening. Yeah. So in other gaming news, Epic has responded to the crop top overuse when dropping a look at OG. Is that season 7 with no characters wearing a crop top? A fan said no crop top, and Epic responded, "It's cold." Well, at least they're humorous. Yeah, Tim Kaine. Yeah, got rehired at Obsidian. Wait, chat. Do we think that's KOTOR 3? Coming back around to the start of the stream, do we think it's KOTOR 3?
They prioritized profit over quality, and their games now struggle to resonate with anyone.
Yes.
You might think,
wait, let me go back to these.
And their games now struggle to...
Fallout 76, 52 user score, 2.9. Starfield, 83 from critic review, 6.8. That's actually, that sounds exactly the way that I've heard this game talked about. And then Starfield, Shattered Space. I was listening to somebody talk about this the other day on my drive home, and they were saying that this is literally the worst thing that Bethesda has ever made. Dude, I'd kill for KOTOR 3. Same. My guess is Fallout New Vegas 2. Dude, if they do Fallout New Vegas 2, that would be insane. I don't think it'll be anywhere close as good as the first Fallout New Vegas, by the way. Sorry, hot take. Not really a hot take. But I think it can still be pretty good. He said it wasn't going to be Fallout. Oh, what the fuck? A remake of original Fallout would be hard? Dude, yes. The original 2 Fallouts in like first or third person, that would be insane. I still need to play those. Maybe we'll do that on stream at some point.
Resonate with anyone. You might think, okay, well, why are you just picking on Bethesda? But BioWare followed a similar path.
Yeah.
They made their name with the Mass Effect and Dragon Age trilogies.
Although I heard that Mass Effect Andromeda has actually gotten a good amount better, and it might actually be worth a play to some people.
Deep RPGs with complex decision-making and strategic combat. Then they streamlined for a
you're good,
wider,
Josh.
broader audience,
Appreciate you, twin.
producing Mass Effect Andromeda, which lacked the depth that fans loved and it failed commercially. Following this, they went for the online audience with Anthem, and then the
Holy fuck, I forgot about Anthem, dude. But also, to be fair to BioWare, right? To be fair, I don't think this comparison is exactly perfect, right? Because BioWare has fucking evil EA in their ear, okay? Telling them probably not fully what they can and can't do, but probably telling them what they would like them to do so that they don't have to do layoffs, right? Or a fuck ton of layoffs or get closed down, right? So I wouldn't be so mean to BioWare. I know he's not really, but he's just trying to draw a comparison to a different studio in the industry right now. I don't think it's like a perfect comparison, is what I'm saying. I think it's a good comparison. He's, you know, it's a good one for what he's trying to say, but it's not like a 1-to-1, you know? If we got a new Knights of the Old Republic single player game, and with the graphics of the newer Star Wars games, I think we're cooking. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we got a new Knights of the Old Republic game and it was just okay, if by some miracle it was just okay, I would be fine with that. I would feel like we're winning. I would literally feel like we're winning. Oh, wait, another great example of a big company, bad game is Nintendo. Holy timing, it's a Star Wars game. KOTOR 3 will never happen. Dude, that's what I kept saying, because there's supposed to be a trustable leak or a trustable game industry leaker said there's a Star Wars announcement ending in the Old Republic. Here's what's most likely gonna happen. The Old Republic expansion. Maybe if we're super fucking lucky, it'll be some word on the first KOTOR remake. Okay, that's like super lucky. And then another likelihood is they're like, hey, we're putting both the old KOTORs. Aspire's gonna put both the old KOTORs on the Switch too. Okay, those are the likelihoods. It's not KOTOR 3, but people in the comments were like, KOTOR 3, KOTOR 3, KOTOR 3. I need a remake of The Force Unleashed, dude. Dude, that would be so good. And I fucking love both those games. Too bad the other one, fucking bombed. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good for what it was.
Recently released Dragon Age The Veilguard, which was originally going to be an online battle royale. Anthem never really got going as an online game, as there was too much competition and it didn't resonate with their core fans, and Dragon Age The Veilguard did so as well, because as a result of it supposedly going to be an online MMO, like Fortnite for example, the characters were cartoonish, colourful, and it did not resonate with the fans of the original Dragon Age series.
This is another one that they point to and they're like, it's because it's woke. No, it's because the game's not really that good. It's because it's not that fucking good. Okay? It's not because it's woke. It's not because there's non-binary characters in the fantasy world, by the way. I understand, in the fantasy world, we have very, it's really, we can fucking, we can shape reality with magic, but non-binary characters, that's just insane. How could that work? Anyways, yeah, Chris, it's not good because it was made by liberals. Man, my grandma had both of them, and I 100% both of them twice. The Force Unleashed? Dude, fuck yeah, bro. Star Wars Republic Commando 2 would be sick. It would be so fucking sick. Fortnite is not an MMO. Wait, did this guy say it was an MMO? Dragon Age Veilguard was sadly just a disappointment, and I love this series so fucking much. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was just a fucking disappointment.
Once again, BioWare built its reputation on deep RPGs, but by chasing mainstream appeal and online audiences for profit and abandoning their true fan base, they, like Bethesda, lost their core fan base and their identity, and now they're in financial trouble. Ubisoft started with tightly crafted Assassin's Creed games, with defined characters and storylines. Then they pivoted to massive open worlds and action RPG mechanics to chase mainstream audiences and higher profits. In the process, they lost the series' identity. Today, the assassin at the heart of the franchise barely feels relevant, and now they've had to come out and say that they're struggling financially and that Assassin's Creed Shadows didn't meet sales expectations. Now, I could do this all day, but not to sound like I'm over-explaining, this pattern repeats across nearly every classic AAA studio.
You also have to remember these AAA studios. Yo, what's up, Potassium? How's it going, bro? 6-7-6-7-6-7-6-7. My bad. What you about the 41, twin? Huh? Anywho, thank you so much for the sub, bro. I appreciate you. How are you doing, Goat? You also have to remember, for some reason, these studios feel like they need to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into these hollow open worlds instead of building a concise, good story with a smaller open world full of things that actually fucking matter, by the way. So these motherfuckers be like, oh, nobody's playing single player games anymore. Yeah, because they don't want to play your fucking single player full of slop open worlds, bro. Okay? Fortnite and MMO sets for massively multiplayer online. Yeah, see, that's the thing is, like, I think he's actually using MMO kind of right for what MMO stands for. Massively multiplayer online. Yeah. It is. There is a massive amount of people online playing a multiplayer game. But what gamers commonly use MMO for is 500 plus people servers. But I think you can say MMO and it technically be right? I got banned from the new Wendy's in Brisbane already for screaming the hard R when my Frosty fell out the cup. You know, that's honestly a valid crash out. We need Potassium to come out of retirement so you can play a game that's like Repo, but you try not to shit your pants. I agree, dude. Get Potassium. Yeah, get out of retirement. Yeah. Oh, my man. Give me smaller open world with more quests, which sounds weird, but it sounds better. Yeah, no, I think, yeah. A smaller open world with more well-written quests would be way better. The newer Assassin's Creed or new Assassins aren't even classified as Assassins, which makes the game name fucking irrelevant. Yeah. Bro, when the Frosty fell out, I rubbed it on my face and started screaming the hard R. It was a chocolate Frosty, to be clear. What? Mods, chain this guy YouTube challenge style to Kamala Harris for a month, please, so he can understand how not to be a fucking racist, okay? Sorry, I didn't do that with enough inflection in my voice. I'm gonna have to remember that one for later and say it again. Great, now we just need to find Skippy on a night that he doesn't have a quiz the next day, and we got the band together. Yes, sir! What?
They build a clear identity and core audience, which establishes their initial success, then pivot to chase bigger profits by either making mass appeal games or going online or basically doing anything but what their true fans want. The result? They lose their original fans, fail to win over a new crowd, and end up with weaker games and no real identity. Not just this, but the old mantra—
Yo, what's up, one fucked up mind? How's it going, bro?
of the customer is always right has been completely switched to the always wrong. We've seen Bethesda snap back at criticism of Starfield, telling players they're just playing it wrong. BioWare blamed their own fans for the game's failure, saying they're just haters. Nintendo keeps raising prices and even selling physical games without actual physical content. Ubisoft is telling players to get used to not owning the games they buy, and Randy Pitchford, creator of Borderlands 4, dismissed fan frustration by flat out saying they're wrong. Not only are these studios not satisfying their customers, but they're not listening to real feedback. In fact, they're outright saying their customers are wrong. Years of this approach have led to a point where not only do fans not enjoy the games they make, but they don't like who the studios are. The trust has been broken beyond repair. These studios don't seem to care about their customers, and that doesn't seem like a successful tactic.
If buying isn't ownership, then piracy isn't stealing. Yeah, Ubisoft can't sit over here and be like, yeah, don't get used to not owning your games that you pay us fucking $80 for. And then act surprised and they're like, wait, what? Why are people pirating our games? Duh. Stupid fuck.
In any business, let alone gaming, by chasing bigger profits and wider audiences whilst abandoning their core fans and identity, these studios end up where they are today. making weaker games that fail to capture anyone's interest and end up underperforming. There are many other reasons for their downfall, but greed is the number one. This is the major reason for the fall of the AAA studios. But those original fans are still out there, and in a free market, unmet demand is just an opportunity for someone else to step in. Enter the indie studios. If you recall earlier, I discussed how smaller teams couldn't compete with the big boys. Well, the advancement of technology and the internet has changed that completely. Warhorse Studios, the creator of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, were founded by Daniel Vavra, who originally worked at 2K Games. After a dispute on the Mafia series direction, he left in the hopes of...
That's making a lot of sense. They were like, yeah, I think we should make our game fucking grindy and last 70 hours. He was like, what? Yeah, but we're going to fill it with like good, cool stuff, right? Like realistic stuff, like gathering hay bales, right? And they're like, no, I think we should just do the same mission over and over again for 70 hours and then pack a story in there somewhere. And he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, dude. No, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm making my own game. Upper Decky, you know, Max, I was actually just thinking about that. Do you think I should hit Upper Decky for this React stream? Would that be fun, chat? How do we feel about reacting on Upper Decky?
Forming his own studio. He cooked up Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, he went to all the major publishers with his idea, and every single one of them said no. They said it was too complicated, not mainstream enough, and wouldn't generate enough profits. They even said it wasn't fantasy enough, like
Dude,
games like...
I have got to play... God. I have got to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, and I've got to play Death Stranding 1 and 2, and I know it's unfair for me to say that Expedition 33 should win Game of the Year when I haven't played all of the games at my disposal, but I feel confident saying that for me personally, I want Expedition 33 to win Game of the Year because of how heavily it resonated with me, which is why it now sits at my favorite game of all time. And I also feel confident saying that it's my favorite game of all time because when the amount of time that had passed between me playing Cyberpunk 2077 and saying that it's probably my favorite game of all time, I realized that it probably lies at about number three at all-time games for me. Expedition 33, the same amount of time between when I decided that of playing Expedition 33 or playing Cyberpunk 2077 and now of playing Expedition 33 to now is that same amount of time period. And I am without a doubt saying that right now, Expedition 33 is still my favorite game of all time, and I think it will be very, 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 very hard to top it. I've had the same favorite game for 15 years. See, it was literally the exact same for... Well, sorry, no. Because Red Dead 2. If you ask me, I would probably... Before, I would probably like bounce between like Red Dead 2 and Skyrim. But yeah, I don't think there's any way that I could ever, or at least right now, up or beat Expedition 33 for my favorite. Where's Dispatch at? I don't know. I don't really think I could put Dispatch like in my top games of all time. I think if we're talking about story games of all time, for me personally, and like what resonated the most with me, top 3, Detroit Become Human, probably number 1 for me personally, like my own personal taste, right? So yeah. My top 3 all been sitting in their spots for 10 plus years. We got Unk in here, dude. Wait, Ami, what's your top 3? Dispatch is good, but anyone rating it in the top games of all time is blinded by recency bias. Yeah, or like haven't played many other story games like that, right? You know? Fallout New Vegas, RuneScape, Witcher 3. If you had to remove RuneScape, like we're talking about only single player games, what would you put in there? Detroit Become Human is crazy ball knowledge. Holy, you just gave me crazy flashbacks. Red Dead 2 is fire. Dude, it really is. It's one of the greatest. I think that's one of those games that you could say is the greatest game of all time. For me, personally, you know? My favorite example of how to do gaming right is Stardew. One man that made the game, and he made an estimated 500 million in sales in 2024 alone. That shit is life-changing money for most, and he has, like, no team to pay, so a lot of that goes to him, and he gets that payday all just by not being greedy. Yeah, dude. Oblivion, probably. That's fair, dude. True Colors is my favorite game of all time. It was the first time I actually related to a character in game, helped me take a step back and actually reevaluate my life and seek help. Plus the powers and the writing are really good. Yeah, that's literally a portion of why Expedition 33 is my favorite game of all time. Dispatch has Dispatch has always made me think of Minecraft Story Mode. Nate, Max, what's your guys' top 3? Chat, let me hear your top 3, guys. For me, Expedition 33, Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077. Actually, if we're talking about just like personal, what game have I had the most fun? But that's the emotional weight. I was going to say like change out, put Cyberpunk 2077 at 2 and put Skyrim at 3, but also just the emotional weight of Red Dead 2. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably my top 3. Probably my top 3. Yeah, chat. And this isn't like what you think the best games of all time are, right? This is your top 3, like your favorite games of all time. All right, let's continue. So sorry, sidetracked again, dude.
Skyrim.
Let me hit it up,
Now, where
Decky.
have we heard all of that before? They were literally told to change their vision of making their dream game and convert it into a simplified, streamlined, guaranteed money-making project.
Max, I got you,
now,
twin.
back in the day, this would have been the end of the story, and Kingdom Come Deliverance would never have been made. But this is the story of today. Warhorse went online and asked for crowdfunding, so financial backing from actual real gamers, and they managed to generate enough to convince non-gaming investors to give them a chance. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was born, has sold over 9 million copies, and the sequel, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
awesome,
has
dude.
now been nominated for Game of the Year. Investors said their approach to realism and their RPG mechanics wouldn't work, it wouldn't sell. Now they're setting the standard and inspiring big developers like CD Projekt Red. Sandfall Interactive, the studio behind the incredible Expedition 33, were originally employees of Ubisoft, but they...
Dude, I've said this so many times, but isn't it so crazy that Ubisoft is literally sitting here looking at game sales for this year, and they're going, oh wow, this Expedition 33 game is doing incredible. It's literally one of the best games probably ever, honestly. All our former employees, okay. What's up with this little new indie game, darling, Dispatch? Oh, also our former employees. Isn't that fucking crazy, bro? And they wanted to do Dispatch. Actually, I think both of them wanted to do those games with Ubisoft. So the fucking probably like, what? Where are they at? Both those games combined right now. Sales numbers probably like 12 million between them both. Because Expedition 33... past 6 million. Yeah, sorry. We'll just say we'll go low. 8 million games, 8 million copies sold. Could have been all to you, Ubisoft, but no. First 2 Spider-Man games, OG, and Force Unleashed. I love the story so much of the way they, dude. Hell yeah. Yo, what's up, Ryder? How's it going, bro? My top 3 are True Colors, Baldur's Gate 3, Telltale's The Walking Dead. Hell yeah. I really like Red Dead 2. The story is amazing, but actually, gameplay mechanics are kind of ass. I feel that to a certain point, too. Like, for me personally. Ryder, we're doing top 3 games of all times. Like, your favorite top 3 games. 2 million for Dispatch, 5 for... Oh, shit. Okay, 7 million. Sorry. I was thinking, like, probably, like, lifelong, like, how much they're going to make, but just for this year. You think water stops coughing blood? I have no clue. Problem with Ubisoft is they are French. Also, Omni, W top 5. Josh, you said Life is Strange, Resident Evil 7, and weirdly enough, Octodad. I'm with that. Thinking on it, for me, Brotherhood, Skyrim, and Guitar Hero World Tour are my top games of all time. They define my childhood. Guitar Hero, teen years, Skyrim, adulthood so far, Brotherhood. Dude, fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome.
Angle and happy 27
Kilo! What's up, twin? Thank you for the 27 months, bro. Thank you, dude. I'm thinking I might punch it in just because it feels like super wide and maybe adjust it a little bit, right? But we'll see. We'll see. We're keeping it like this for tonight. I'm kind of liking it. It's MMG inspired. Anyways, let's continue. Sorry, I keep getting so sidetracked, bro.
Didn't like their streamlined vision. They felt constrained. They wanted to provide a game with more depth that allowed them to express themselves a little more. So, they did. A few employees left Ubisoft, formed their own studio, and have now made arguably one of the greatest games of all time, resurrecting the turn-based genre. Final Fantasy used to be turn-based, but they turned to real-time action to appeal to a...
Oh, chat. Sorry to pause again, right? I've got to play Final Fantasy, was it 17? Is that the one where Ben Starr's the main character? I love Ben Starr so much, bro. Turn-based was never dead. No, it really wasn't. I don't think. I mean, especially with like Persona. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, did I just get the hiccups from this fucking Zen? Hold on, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and hold my breath for a few and see if I can get these out of here.
A larger crowd. Once again, now their CEO cites Expedition 33 as an inspiration to their future work. Silksong was born out of the tiny indie studio Team Cherry. Hades 2 was built by the small independent team at Supergiant Games. The reason that the studios can all do this,
I love Hades
the
2
rise
and
of
Hades.
technology. Before, you needed 200 plus staff, a dedicated studio, millions in backing from
I'm so fucking bad at Hades 1 and 2, but I love them so much, bro. Whenever I'm not in those crazy, like, crazy fucking, like, get on, or wake up, do I need to do, maybe hang out with my girlfriend for a little bit, then stream, then edit the rest of the night, grind, or, like, if I have a gig, go to the gig, edit the photos that night, wake up, then stream the next day. Whenever I'm not like that, I'm actually gonna, like, dedicate a bunch of time to both Hades games and try and beat them both in my own free time, or maybe on stream. Maybe we'll do it on stream. Just, you know, those top-down games and roguelites, both of them are not very, like, popular games on stream. Like, to be fair, reacts aren't really the most popular thing, but I can, like, make them content and evergreen content on YouTube pretty much. Those type of games are just hard to make content out of unless that's, like, your niche. So I'd probably play both of them offline, but I'm here for it. I need to play more games offline just because I love them. I'm not touching Hades 2 until it comes out on console because I don't want the chance of my graphics card fucking crashing the game on me. That's fair, bro. Yo, Nerdy Bernie with the raid. Yo, I like your name. What's up, Nerdy Bernie? Chat, please go show Nerdy Bernie some love. How's it going, homie? I'm just not touching it. Not your game. Yo, thank you so much for the raid. Chat, please go show Nerdy Bernie some love. I know my top 3 most played games if you want to know that. Sure, dude. Yeah, I'm totally down, bro. Doing all right? Hell yeah. How was your stream? What were you playing tonight? Yeah, roguelikes. Yeah, that's fair, bro. It's not for everyone. I don't know what it is about those games. They tickle something in my brain. Also, Ben Starr is also in Hades 2, so I need to play it.
Investors and an aggressive marketing campaign. But now, smaller teams can build these games remotely for a fraction of the cost with backing from fans, and the new technology lets them make games of the highest quality. Expedition 33 looks as good as any game Ubisoft.
Stop saying Ballatra. I'll deep throat my mic right now, dude. Beat Baldur's Gate for the first time in a Skyrim challenge run to close it out. What Skyrim challenge are you doing? Challenge run. Yeah, but that's different. I love gambling. Wait, Ami, have you played Clover Pit? I love roguelikes. Hell yeah, dude. How many fantasies are the final one? That's a valid question.
Ubisoft have released in recent years. The gap in terms of quality between AAA studios and indie studios has been closed. As a result of this new setup, these developers don't have to bow down to the demands of investors and shareholders. They don't have to play it safe and cater to certain audiences in the name of revenue. They can experiment and be bold, innovate and take risks. That is why their games are the ones introducing all the fresh new ideas. And what do you know? It's working and making more money. Add to that, they are closer to their fan base. They establish strong communities, listen to their feedback, and
that's what I was gonna say about all these fucking companies. And I know they have like publishers that are pushing whatever down their throats, right? But if Bethesda Games had just focused on putting out the games that their fan base loves, they would be so much more successful right now, in my opinion. If they just focused in and never did fucking Fallout 76, even though, you know, Fallout 76 is in at least an okay state now, and I'm glad because, again, you know, West Virginia, that's cool for me, but if they just focused on single player games and shit, their fan base would be so much more tight-knit right now, dude. And they would have, I feel like they would be profiting, honestly, probably the same amount as now. 1 million health, no healing, permadeath. You get points based on cleared dungeons. It's also heavily modded. Dude, that sounds like so much fucking fun. That's awesome, dude. Nerdy Bernie, have you tapped in on like uploading that to YouTube? Sorry to take a pause here. Kilo told me to check Steam. Oh my god, Kilo, is this what oh my god. Yes, Kilo. Let's run it, bro. Thank you so fucking much, brother. You did not have to do that. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We're gonna get the goop. Kilo's a fucking G, bro. W's to Kilo. I used to do a VOD channel, but I just don't have time to edit. That's fair, bro. Even, I would say, Nerdy Bernie, and obviously, you don't need to take this advice because, you know, who the fuck am I? But if you even just feel like going through and doing the thing where you have your Twitch account, like, logged into a channel and you cut in the Twitch editor, like the Skyrim challenge itself, from like the in point of the Skyrim challenge to the out point, you could possibly be gaining subs and views on YouTube. I literally uploaded just like highlights of my challenge Skyrim run the other night, and it's got like 80 views right now. I uploaded just some like clips of Dispatch from some of the short form I was making, right? And it literally gave me like 2 subs. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the chopping like the in and out is literally what I'm gonna do for these reacts. And doing that strategy got me 1,000 subs on YouTube. So, yo, thank you, Kilo. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so fucking much again, dude. We will definitely play Arc Raiders soon. I will try and remember to hit you up to set up like a time to actually play it and check it out, chat. We'll probably do that on stream because I want to play at least once on stream and see what's up. You guys can get my my reaction. Yo, Legendary, what's up, bro? What the fuck is up, dude? How are you doing?
Value their customers, their actual customers. That's why Expedition 33 is $40 and The Other Worlds 2 is $70. The reason why Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was $60 and Assassin's Creed Shadows $80. They aren't just making games for money. They're doing it out of passion and for their true fans. Players are tired of being used as a cash cow, squeezed for every last penny. They are tired of never being heard and only seeing game prices increase. They are sick of being served the same game year after year.
Yeah, fuck Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I don't give a fuck if the multiplayer is fun. Oh, the multiplayer is fun, guys. Yeah, that's cool. They could have made fucking Black Ops 6's multiplayer as fun. They could have updated that game and made it as fun as fucking Black Ops 7 and not release such a shitty fucking campaign to fucking garner more fucking money. Of the Chargers defense, let's fucking go. Yo, what's up, Dom? I literally just looked at the score. That's why I went, oh. Dude, I just need the Rams to lose once. I just need them to lose to the Seahawks and the Niners beat the Seahawks. Yeah, I need to get back to uploading on the VOD channel. One of my goals for 26. Dude, fuck yeah, dude. Dude, I'm sending you good vibes. I hope that shit works out well, bro. But yeah, what's up with Jalen Hurts? Did he catch the Patrick Mahomes bug and he's just kind of mad this year? Being a sports fan in Indy is going to make me kill myself? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. No touchdowns and 4 picks. To be fair, the Chargers defense is like that, but that's crazy.
Looking at you, Call of Duty and FIFA, and being charged a
Ew.
fortune for nothing new in return. There is a crisis going on in gaming, and I'm sorry, but not only are the indie studios making better games for lower prices, but they care about their fans more too. You'll notice that in every area that AAA studios are failing, indie studios are thriving. This is the reason so many indie studios have seen a rise in recent years. So what does the future hold? Well, it's only going to get better for indie studios. Back in the day, fans would play a game and say, well, I could have made a better game, but they couldn't actually do it. They couldn't back it up. It wasn't possible. But nowadays, this is actually happening. Just these past few months, I have interviewed a few indie studios on my channel who are making great games. Of Ash and Steel, Ardenfall.
Yeah, oh, we were just playing the demo for this. They sent me the fucking demo early. Yo, fuck yeah, dude. Ardenfall's sick. Chat, if you guys got a PC, go check out the demo for Ardenfall. If you liked Morrowind or Skyrim, I think you'll love that fucking game, bro. Sorry, I've been searching for the name of roguelikes I love. Oh, dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, W mentioned, bro. Yeah, it's good. We should make a game. IDK out to make games. I agree. Literally a fucking beautiful OT turnover. Our defense team is on top, but why is Herbert still playing with a fucking broken hand? Is he really? Was about to head to bed, but I saw you're live on TikTok, so you already know I gotta pop in. What's good, my favorite Ginger? Yo, what's up, King Moore? Not much, dude. Hitting some reacts tonight, hanging out with Chad, bullshitting. You know the vibes. I like Madden, but isn't the same game. It is, but isn't the same game every year, you know? Yeah, I think Madden should just go. Yo, what's up, Yogi? I think Madden should just go to a live service. I think, and even if they were like, yo, $10 subscription a month, you get some like, you know, we'll give you extra mutt, whatever. We'll update the game, yada, yada, whatever, bro. Even if they went to something like that, I think it would be so much better than what they're doing now and just update the game, continue to update the game. I think that is the move. Even though I wouldn't like it, I'd still be like, fuck EA. But yeah, I was gonna game design major for a year in school, but switch to film. Oh, we're learning the Omni lore tonight, dude. Yes, and he just had surgery on his hand. Jesus. Nah, I'd pay for it. I like Madden too much, man. No, that's valid, bro. That's valid. Madden does have a very addictive like hook to it. I mean, that's why it's in the top 10 for sales like every single fucking year. I'm gonna play some ball tro. Gotta get my fix in, dude. So valid. So valid. Oh, sorry. I hit fucking alt instead of
Sword Hero,
space.
Knight's Path, The Wayward Realm.
I haven't heard of Knight's Path or Wayward Realm, but I'm about to get tapped in.
The links to these interviews is in the description, and you know what's crazy? They do it for the love of gaming. Money is the last thing they care about. Ardenfall is being made because Bethesda never made a sequel
5
to
people, by the way.
Morrowind. Not a proper one anyway. Sword Hero and Of Ash and Steel because Gothic stopped releasing new games. Wayward Realms is being made because Daggerfall never got a sequel. They are making them because they love those games so much, and since no one else will make them because...
Nerdy, you are so good, homie. Sleep well. Have a great rest of your night. Good luck on the YouTube cooking. I hope the next stream's incredible. I hope the Skyrim run goes well, dude. Appreciate you so much, dude. Go get some self-care. Go get some rest, bro. So excited to be done with school. That's so fair. We can make a game. It's for the love of the game. Yeah, dude. I feel like that, like, those are the games that succeed, obviously. Those are the games that succeed. What is going on here? Windows Security Defender. Thanks, man. Thanks for blasting that shit. My ears. My cousin's going to college for film. He is moving to Florida. He lives on the West Coast, so it's going to be a whole different lifestyle. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's really good. It's going to be a reality shock, probably.
It's not profitable enough, they decided to just do it themselves. And they're doing this from their homes, on their own computers, with teams as small as just 5 people, and some of them are making the game by themselves. They don't need millions in investment or massive studios with mega technology. They just need passion and hard work. Steam allows any publisher to post their game, and programs like Unreal Engine allow anyone to get to grips with game design and make games of the highest quality. The bar to entry is getting lower, and more of these studios will keep popping up, and not just providing equal games to the AAA studios, but even better ones. If the AAA studios are complaining that it's rough now, just wait until the next wave kicks in. Fans are no longer sitting by and allowing themselves to be squeezed for cash. They're no longer just going to accept mediocre games thrown at them. A lot of the world is in a cost of living crisis, and they won't just agree to the new game price hikes and just take it. No. They'll just make their own games and look after their fans, something the AAA studios seem to have forgotten about a long time ago. This is...
Yeah, dude. I wonder how publishers and devs are going to react, because I feel like it's going to start to eat into their profits, probably a lot. It's probably going to eat into their profits a lot if these indie and AA game studios keep creating these games that are actually amazing for a quarter of the cost. You know, Expedition 33 was probably the quarter of the cost, if even, probably even less, right, than the newest Assassin's Creed, right? It's selling incredibly well. There's way more profit on it because it's cheaper, so more people can buy it. It goes on sale a decent amount. Like, it's really going to shake things up, and I think it's going to kill off some of these giants. I think it's going to be similar to when Netflix was like $8 a month and everything was on there. I think it's going to be like that, but I don't think, unless a bunch of these indie studios and AA studios start getting bought up, which I honestly think there's a good chance that a lot of them will stand on morals and won't. Unless something like that happens, I don't think there's going to be any way for these companies to catch up with how greedy they are with fucking microtransactions and shit. Like, it's going to be a while before they find a way to catch up, before they can like match these indie studios and these AA studios. Like, there's just no way. Like, literally, again, look at Expedition 33 or even Dispatch or whatever. I mean, Dispatch, it was made by fucking it was made by Ad Hoc and Critical Role, like a YouTube not YouTube Foley, but like, you know, a YouTube quote unquote YouTube production studio, bro, made this game that sold 3 million copies, or 2 million, sorry, 2 million copies, bro. It's insane. It's insane, bro. Which I'm excited for. I'm very excited for. I'm very glad that this is where we're at in gaming. It's made me feel so much love for gaming and why I've been so into it recently, you know, and why I'm talking so much about this. You dissing on Critical? Oh no, that's not a diss at all. It's not a diss at all. It's like more of like an admiration for me of the fact that they are not a humongous company and they were able to get all of this done, dude. It's incredible. Low-key, why should I buy fucking same game 23 times when I got fucking House Flipper? Honestly, fair. Netflix buys Warner Bros. Me praying that cinema doesn't die. Netflix is going to become Net Max Plus. Yeah, literally. I know, I'm kidding. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you guys knew. I want to make a game about forging weapons and tools that is both VR and PC compatible. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my picture. Oh, you're good, Nate. Thank you for the likes, by the way, brother. Also, that'd be sick, dude. That'd be so sick. Kind of like how Faz you can be in first person, or VR and also play just on your computer. That'd be really cool. And on console. I don't know if Faz is on console, but I'm saying like your game. Low-key, I'm stingy as fuck with even indie games because I won't buy House Flipper 2, even though I do want it. Dude, so yeah, Netflix buying up Warner Bros. I think it's gonna change a lot of things, especially for their games studios. But we're getting to a point. Luke Stevens said a quote the other day, or a word the other day, because people said it was becoming a monopoly. And he's like, it's not a monopoly, it's a oligopoly, I think is the word that he used, right? Where basically it's not like one person in power in the film industry right now, right? It's like there's like 3 companies in power. And Netflix is kind of just like, you know, absorbing Warner Bros. So they're just becoming one of the big 3, which is Sony, Warner Bros. Now will probably be Netflix if it goes through, if that deal doesn't get shot down, right? Oligopoly, yeah, thank you, is a market in which pricing control lies in the hands of a few sellers. Yes, yes, thank you. Who's the other one? Yeah, there is a good chance it doesn't go through, yeah. Which I'm kind of worried about, because I think we're kind of set in a lose-lose situation, because other taxpayers are, yeah, Paramount's also placing bids. Taxpayers are either gonna have to fucking pay that out or whatever the fuck that is. I'm too stupid to know those laws, but that's what I've heard some people talk about on the internet, right? It's either gonna go to Netflix, which honestly I think might be the lesser of 2 fucking evils at this point, or 3 evils, or it's gonna go to the fucking Saudi company. I don't know, or the Saudis. I don't know can the U.S. government shut that down if it goes to the Saudis, or do they not have any ability to do that? Is this like when people try to call Steam a monopoly? Like, yes, Steam is the most popular option there is. Also, Epic Games, it sucks ass, and that's why Steam is popular, but it's there. I feel like Steam, I've heard a lot of people say this, Steam is like the least evil, like, billion-dollar company, you know? Not exactly ideal. Like, it would be great if there was a competitor to Steam, but there really isn't, like, a great competitor. Like, I think there is a discussion to be had about them having sort of a monopoly on PC gaming right now, even though there is Epic and Itch. Steam is good because it's privately owned. That is a big portion. Like, now that I'm starting to understand a little bit more how business works, why, yeah, it doesn't have to appease shareholders. I feel like that is one of the biggest problems with so many companies, is having to appease shareholders, and what ends up ruining a lot of companies, if not all of them. That's why I have hope with EA being sold. If it wasn't being sold to Saudi Arabia, I would be a lot more open to the EA selling. I just want to know what is going on. In the HBO studio to change their name every year. No one cares. Some grandma is going to look for HBO and see Max and have no idea. Yeah, that's fair. The only time I launch Epic Games is when they're giving out actual banger games for free that I want to play. / if Epic didn't have Fortnite, their own launcher would be dead in the ground. Yeah, probably. Because you can't refund games. There's no really good way. Or maybe you can't now. But there's no real way to be able to get like user feedback in a way. Like their launcher, in my opinion, is so far fucking behind Steam, it's laughable. Oh, you refunded Red Dead 2 on Epic? It took like a month. Yeah. Dude, Steam, the longest I've had to wait is probably 16 hours for a refund. Of course, console would be, of course, harder, but it could work. Fixed it finally, thank God. Oh, the picture-in-picture? Yeah. Dude, you can't refund games on Nintendo? I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, literally. Yeah, I mean, if you get sold slot... I feel like if you're going to open your open up your storefront for people to be able to upload pretty much whatever they want, right? And there's hardly any process of like vetting those games other than, oh, is it a video game? There's a lot of slop that's going to fall through, and they need to make it that you have an ability to refund.
This is why the AAA studios have fallen and the indie studios have risen. Now, can the AAA studios turn it around? Absolutely. But they have to start listening to their fans and respecting them. Stop milking them for every dollar. Look at them like customers again. Treat them like you're trying to earn their business for the first time.
Ah, GameStop was doing a prophecy when they said power to the players. That's actually what we're about to get here, dude. Is what it kind of sounds like. Oh, you beat it? Didn't play it? Game I bought doesn't have a physical release. At least I don't think it did.
Bethesda, go back to making single-player games like Skyrim with the RPG depth of Morrowind. That's what your real fans want, not Fallout 76. BioWare, go back to making deep role-playing games like Mass Effect, not the online anthems or the cartoonish Dragon Age Veilguard. Ubisoft, make Assassin's Creed games have assassins again. The point is, if your games are struggling and people don't like them, you know what the fastest way is to figure out how to fix it? Ask your damn fans.
I think there's a chance, thinking about it all, right? And this is just something I thought of right now, so, you know, I'm subject to change on this opinion. But I think there's a decent chance that a lot of these, like, bigger game franchises end up dying as these AA and indie studios come along, right? I think there is a chance that, like, you know how Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Battlefield, I'm trying to think of some other games, even the Elder Scrolls, right? If they keep trying to appeal to everybody, then it will appeal to pretty much nobody, and these games will die. And that will be a bad thing for these humongous corporations. But I think for studios that will continue to produce high quality games, there is a chance that, like, you know, Clair Obscur is the name of the franchise, right? Those games will prevail for the audience that those really click with, and those will be like the heavy hitters. That might not come out as often, it might not come out every year, but they will be some of the highest selling because they know that they are getting high quality, exactly what those games are good at, while expanding in what they're, you know, what those game studios are great at creating, you know? Like how Sandfall introduced the like parrying and dodging system into turn-based, which isn't a new concept, but they do it so well, right? Instead of them being like, oh, what if we got rid of turn-based in our game? Because our fucking shareholders want our game to make more money and see more profit, right? I think it'll get to a point where there isn't so many big franchises that release every single year, but there will be franchises that come out every couple of years that gamers know that they can trust, that will be incredible, because these studios don't have to bow to shareholders or publishers. They will be allowed to make whatever they want because their games won't need as much funding as, you know, Assassin's Creed, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? I think there's a decent chance that's where we're moving to. And that's kind of what he's saying in this video. I feel like it might be a cycle. Big companies get big, then get bad, then fall off, causing the indies to get big, and the cycle repeats. That's definitely possible, dude. Yo, King Mort, sleep well, bro. Thank you for stopping in for a few. I appreciate you, dude. Have a great day tomorrow, bro. I bought Cyberpunk because of the extra stickers, and I'm too scared to use them now. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Sorry.
They will tell you. Treat them well, make the games they want, and I promise the money will follow it.
Yes.
If not, keep going the way you're going, and let's look at the Game of the Year nominees in a few years from now. The indie studios dominating this year isn't a one-off.
And also, to be fair, you can even say Death Stranding, right? They gave Hideo Kojima, they basically said, yeah, you have whatever funding you need, whatever you want to make, you make the game that you want. So really, all of the games except for Donkey Kong, but I mean, I don't know, maybe they did something similar with that. I have no clue. I don't know anything about that fucking game. Every game this year has been a, like, except for that game, for Game of the Year nom, has been make the game you want to make that you think will resonate most with players, that you think will be the greatest game. Make the greatest game that you can think of and make it, right? So it kind of just even more plays into his point here.
Growing trend, and if the pattern continues, almost every gaming fan will go to them and there'll be no one left there to buy your games. Just make games for your customers and treat them well. It's really that simple. Over the past decade, the gaming industry has undergone a dramatic shift. Once dominated by AAA studios like Bethesda, BioWare and Ubisoft, developers with vast budgets, resources and influence, the landscape is now being reshaped by passionate indie developers. AAA studios built their reputations on deep, complex games that resonated with their fan base, but gradually they traded innovation and fan loyalty for broader appeal, simplified mechanics and monetization, leaving their core audiences behind. Meanwhile, indie developers have seized the opportunity, embraced modern technology and direct fan support to create bold, high-quality games without compromise. Titles like Hades 2, Silksong, Expedition 33, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 demonstrate that small teams can now rival and often surpass AAA production values while staying true to their identity and main fan base. This year of indie studios leading isn't a one-off. It represents a larger shift, driven by creativity, fan engagement, and a refusal to prioritize profit over passion. For AAA studios to survive, they must listen to their players, respect their fan bases, and reclaim the innovation and identity they've abandoned. Otherwise, the future belongs to the indie studios. The fall of the AAAs and the rise of the indies. But anyway, that's it for this one, but what do you guys think? Do you agree with my take on recent AAA games? Do you feel that indie studios are on the rise, or do you completely disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing.
Dude, hell yeah, bro. Chat, go check out this video if you want to go show AVV Gaming some love here, dude. Yeah, dude. This is, I think he hit the nail on the head there. This is 100% right. Like, you know, these studios have lost their way. Again, indie and AA devs are killing it right now. There's so many incredible games coming out. I mean, again, you know, literally the whole point of the video. Look at the Game of the Year nominations. Major studios are collapsing under their own gluttony, greed, and arrogance, and I'm loving every second of it. Yeah, I feel really lucky that our history is represented well by Katie. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that's where they were from. Very well put. We couldn't agree more. Thank you for our inclusion. It's an honor to be mentioned alongside other passionate and driven developers. With indie games like these, we think the future looks bright. Oh, who's this? Once Lost Games? Who is this? What did they make? The Wayward Realms. Hell yeah, dude. Just dropped the sub. A game made for everyone is a game made for no one. Kind of like I said earlier. I'm all for this shift in the culture. It feels right to see AA be put in its place. Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. I think this kind of goes back to like a idea that I've said a decent amount, but like with the internet, you can get so focused on the fact that it is leading to a lot of like bad things, evil things, you know, brain rot, horrible propaganda, all this horrible shit, right? Being exposed to so many different things that like, honestly, your brain probably shouldn't be exposed to. But there's also a lot of good, like a lot of stuff happening right now is causing these huge evil corporations to crumble, right? Like the ability for these indie devs and AA devs to be able to create absolutely incredible games like Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate 3, Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, you know, Kingdom Come Deliverance, all of these games, right, are able to be done because of the internet and advances in technology, and they're able to be worked on with teams all across the world. It's incredible, and it's making these horrible, greedy game studios like fucking publishers like Ubisoft and EA crumble in some ways, or at least buckle, you know, which is great to fucking see, man. It's great to see. It feels like after how much they've fucked over their workers and the consumer, they're finally getting some of their own medicine. Maybe not their own medicine, but just some, you know, karma is coming around to them. Did I miss anything, chat? My biggest fear is big cherry games, the makers of Hollow Knight and Silksong, with that happening. What do you mean? Oh, big companies get big, then get bad, then fall off, causing indies to get big. Oh, and you're saying you're afraid I don't think that'll happen with cherry games though, because it's still just the 3 of them. I think that's the big thing, is like when these studios get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's why I was really glad that Sandfall said that they weren't going to expand their team. Because that, I feel like, is a lot, kind of goes back to my point from earlier, is like when the studios get bigger and bigger, they eventually lose sight of what made the games so incredible. Like my comparison with Morrowind, when Bethesda made Morrowind, to them making the Elder Scrolls 6. Like, it's so much effort. There's so many chefs in the kitchen, you know?